Эй, всем привет, меня зовут Вячеслав, это канал Surface Play. Мы продолжаем проходить игру Сломанный меч, Broken Sword. И, наверное, скорее всего, мы откроем сейчас вот эту комнату. Ну да, кажись. Да, точно, вот она и подошла.
Lantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too. A photograph had been torn up.
Ну так возьми, склей, сейчас будет полная фотография.
If I could just arrange the pieces. Oh my god. It can't be.
Угу. Не, ну мозаику всегда было легче любой другой загадки собрать. Но есть и так будет всегда. Ближе нельзя? А, это так специально.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father. Papa, oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, the one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Cachon, while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it. I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
Вот так вот бывает. Те предметы забрать, артефакты, ты чего? А ты не можешь туда, да, прийти? Ты только про полицейский участок знаешь. Ясно. Хотя, стой. Ай, ладно. Ни с кем не поговорим тогда.
I pushed against the door, but it seemed to be locked. Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good. It only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to.
Так, подозрительно где-то.
Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street.
I tried the door, but it's locked.
You know, I've told the landlord about that a million times. It is a damp. The old building is like a sponge. It sucks up the moisture from God knows where.
You mean the door is stuck because it's swollen?
That is correct. There is an art to opening it. Don't shove too hard. Just give it a gentle nudge above the log.
Thanks for the advice.
Ну, в принципе, это нам все, что надо.
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
Hi.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George. Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers underneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck. Hard work, I'd call it. Well, what happened?
My editor told me to drop the story. Can you believe it?
But you're not going to do that.
Oh no. I'm going to find out what's behind these killings. It just doesn't add up. It almost feels like some sort of conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone.
Угу.
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George. It's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy is wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh, no?
Take a close look at his right cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a crescent moon.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
I found this false nose in the...
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
В общем, надо поделиться просто уликами и все, в принципе.
I found this tissue down the sewer.
That's disgusting, George.
No. I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but, well, I had a job to do. Tell me more about...
The first was Arnaud Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
I had been about to add mine to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with Cochon.
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death. Tell me more about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell.
Well, how'd you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought me my first camera. I was 8, and my parents had just split up.
Did you live with your father?
Yes. My mother went off with her new boyfriend. I didn't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted me to study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Это все
I have
получается.
to go.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Угу, новая локация появилась. Давайте в полицейский участок сходим сначала. Картинка дальше не вращается, значит. Давай взглянем на журнал.
It was just some police paperwork, a search warrant. Excuse me.
Not so fast. I'd like your personal details, please.
Huh? What for?
In the event of an accident, it would help us to know where to send the body.
Look, is this really necessary? I came in here to talk to Rosso.
Ah, why did you not say? He's not here.
But
Do you wish to leave a message for him? I have a choice of blue or black pen. I'd recommend the blue for a less formal communication.
I'd prefer to talk to him in person.
As you wish, monsieur.
Is Sergeant Moo available?
What? You want to speak to him?
Yes, please.
I cannot recall the last time someone asked to speak to Moo. No one ever speaks to him. Not even his kids. Ah bien. He's not here, monsieur. He is with Inspector Rosso, like Laurel and Keaton. No, monsieur?
Hardy. Oliver Norville Hardy. Thank you for your
Ладно.
help, officer.
Больше ни о чем не буду с ним говорить. Кукла, вот, я смотрю. Офигенная музыка.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, for in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible! You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
Нужно
I'm
поговорить о
looking
клоуне.
for a man who hired a clown costume from me.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Do you recognize this man?
Oui, monsieur. I sold him some grease paint.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that. Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Ну, замечательно.
Do you recognize this?
Ah oui, that is the man to whom I sold the grease paint. I remember the scar on his face. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
What does this
Nothing, monsieur.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay. What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur. What? Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Не забудьте его отключить, когда идете в туалет.
Oui, monsieur?
Do you want this buzzer back?
No. You keep it.
Thanks for your help, bud.
My...
А, это мы расследовали, но больше сюда не пойдем. Ну, давайте кафе посмотрим, что здесь сменилось. Так, вроде бы вечер, а уже вроде как день. Ага.
Hi there. Remember me?
Ah, mais oui, Inspector. Have you found him?
Who?
The man in the sewer, of course.
I'm, sifting through the evidence.
Ah, rather you than me, monsieur. So, when you are not exploring sewers, what do you do?
I take a lot of showers.
Oh, very good, monsieur. A policeman with a sense of humor.
То есть, ну-ка.
Hi there. Remember me?
Ah,
Who?
the man.
I'm,
So,
I take...
Ясно, значит, нам тут ничего не нужно.
Hello? Who is this? Hi. My name's George Stobart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
А, то есть, только мужик может сюда прийти. Ясно. Ну что ж, отправляемся. Так, это типа Конгресс. Типа мы американец, это американский флаг, а дальше будет все спокойно.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Shake my hand.
Nah.
Oh, rats.
Ладно,
See you
ну,
later.
Not if you see me first.
это вряд ли
Excuse me.
что-то хорошее мы
Yeah?
увидим от них.
Will you shake my hand?
Are you joking? Who knows where it has been?
Лучше лишний раз не разговаривать с кем попало. Скорее всего.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello.
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment, Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and suck.
A real lady? I mean...
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
I just couldn't bring myself to use the buzzer on this dear... I'm looking for
Good heavens!
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is dick.
Precisely.
Ясно, толком она ничего
Did
не
you know there's
скажет.
a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest.
Ясно.
Excuse me, you're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England, Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now, that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there. Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Скорее всего, это его босс.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Ясно. Так, вторая дверь.
If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room. The sign on the door read 22. The door was locked.
Эти двери тоже соседние закрыты, как я полагаю.
The door
Ну да.
I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean.
That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Raymond? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar. What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is. Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Do you know a man named
No, monsieur.
Ясно. Ключ мы просто так не возьмем, если его не отвлечь.
Hello again. Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Does this goo...
No.
What is this?
In my country, we have no...
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
What about the mines? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mine-free.
Sounds like heaven. This is a photo of Khan, right?
That is just one of the names by which he is known.
Have you any idea what this tool might be used for?
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me with wonder.
И он мне
Thanks
тоже
for
не
your help.
поможет.
Goodbye.
И как же мне ключ взять-то?
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You are trying to steal that key, no?
No way. There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
What now?
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
Голландец. Вот это что ли голландец?
Hello again. Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh, no. It's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scared for them?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
What killer?
It's a long story. The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stone. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no... He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe, and Merlin went...
Ладно, пошли, поможешь ты мне. Ну, ты мне поможешь, нет? Пойдешь?
Hey, no.
Just looking.
Бабуля, помоги мне!
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
I really...
I'm not convinced.
It's
Ah?
I was...
Well, I should... But a...
Ну, наконец-то.
I say! You there? Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewelry for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Ну, а теперь давай
Over to
ключ.
you, my dear.
The door was locked.
Ой, ну используй ключ-то ты.
The door was locked.
Ты издеваешься? Ключ используй.
Now, maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key. There was nothing in the wardrobe apart from a vague, lingering smell of camphor. The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did.
Мы полезли в окно. Прям агент национальной безопасности.
The assassin had been too smart to leave incriminating evidence beside his bed.
Ой, стой, вот он же портфель. Эй. Не понял, прикол. А что ты закрываешь-то дверь обратно? Странно вообще. Ну а теперь... Фу.
The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits. It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died. I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty.
И это все, что ты хотел обыскать?
It was Khan. I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom. As Khan opened the wardrobe, I was sure I was dead. But he grabbed his pants quickly and didn't even see me. I didn't usually spy on men getting changed. But this guy was a killer, and I didn't want any surprises. He left his checkered pants on the bed. I flipped the pants over. I had that kind of feeling you only get from searching still warm pants. I found an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. But as I pulled it from the pocket, a strong thread came with it. A thread with a metal tag on the end. The pocket was empty.
То есть карман уже пуст, да?
I
А
found
второй?
nothing in the pocket.
А, вот там.
I pulled on the metal tag and the thread came out of the pants. It was like pulling out a ripcord. The pocket was empty. I found nothing. I turned the pants over. There was nothing in the pocket. I searched the pocket gingerly and found it read Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics.
Второй карман тоже пустой. То есть он открыл двери и все, что ли? Так, что я подобрал?
The matchbook bore a pattern of swerve. It was the...
Ага.
The cabinet had no drawer.
То есть ты и вылезти можешь сюда. А зачем это? Глупо как-то.
What now?
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats. Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that. A murderer? Are you sure?
positive. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
Do you recognize this key?
That is the property of the Hotel Ubu.
Correct.
May I ask how it found its way from the little book to your pocket?
Would you believe it was put there by a poltergeist?
No, monsieur. The hotel is regularly serviced by an exorcist. If we had a ghost, Father Fécond would have flushed it out.
I suppose you want the key back.
Not spécialement. The room is vacant. Since you are so determined to conduct your little investigation, I won't stop you.
Hey, shake my hand.
I have already explained why I...
What do you make of...
Stunning, monsieur. I bet you handle it like a professional.
И что дальше-то делать?
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem. If you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, lad.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, lad.
Get lost, creep.
Oh, yeah? And what if I don't? What if I call the cops?
First, I break your arms at the elbows and wrists. Then, when you recover consciousness, I break your fingers.
There's just one flaw in your plans, Ape-Man.
What's that?
It's broad daylight. I don't think even you would assault me on a busy street. Of course, this tranquil square at the end of a cul-de-sac. This isolated corner of Paris that hasn't seen a street sweeper's brush since VE Day. This would be just about perfect for a mugging. Pardon me, I'm about to get very lost.
Нормально он попал. О, задний двор еще есть тут. Но тут ничего у нас нет. То есть, если мы что-то будем скидывать вниз, то надо будет забрать через задний двор, как я понял. Ну окей.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
That gangster I told...
Good heavens! One never knew. Thank you for the warning, young man. I shall hide my credit cards in my...
I found this pass in
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has a million faces. I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George!
Бабуля наша вообще боевая.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
Так, ну нас обыщут, а это значит, что надо будет скинуть в окно. А значит...
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Так, это все, что я могу скинуть, да? В принципе. А, ну и сейчас опять меня шмонает, нормально.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out. Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi. Come in, Jules.
Ну, продолжим в следующей серии, прямо с этого места. Всем спасибо за просмотр, подписывайтесь на канал, оценивайте видео. Всем до встречи, всем пока.